Hello everyone, this is Christy with TruckLogics. We're going to start the webinar on effortless financial management, a spotlight on invoices and driver settlements. I'm your hostess, Christy Camp. I'm a TruckLogics support specialist. As I've previously stated a couple of webinars, I've been with TruckLogics for some time and I'm passionate about helping you manage your business to the fullest potential. Me and my team, we're dedicated to getting you in and out of your account quickly and effortlessly so that you can get on with your day. That's the whole objective of TruckLogics, is to make your life easier. So today's webinar overview is going to be how to create an invoice, voiding your invoice and payments, and then we're going to talk about how the invoice creation affects your driver settlements, because you're basing your driver payments on a percentage or some variant of the information that's entered on your invoice, and then how to void that driver settlement. And of course, at the end, we'll have a small Q&A. And I do ask that you hold all your questions until the end. I will give everyone an opportunity to type in their questions. So just hang tight. We're going to get started, and I'm going to switch over to my demonstration account. And as you see, this is the all loads dashboard where you create your loads. And we're going to just step into a load that we already created. And we need to invoice this load. We haven't done that. We've assigned it. We've gotten it on the road. But now we need to receive a payment or bill for this invoice so that we can get paid and then therefore pay the bills, our drivers, and other expenses that we have. So once you create your load, you're going to click on the Invoice tab. And this will tell you here that this is a new tab. It's fresh, it's brand new, it's never been created. So to keep everything continuity through our system, we're going to copy and paste our invoice number here. And that way we can quickly identify our invoice with our load. However you like to number yours, that is completely up to you. The invoice date, we did this load a couple of weeks ago, so if you need to backdate, you absolutely can. If you're going to invoice in the future, again, you can. You can set your terms, due upon receipt, a net 50, a net 30, and you can even custom or add a new terms. This is completely up to you and giving you that flexibility on how you want to get paid. For demonstration purposes, we're going to leave it as due upon receipt, and we're going to just leave it as today's date as well. This is our customer who is going to be paying us, and if you had a factoring company, you would simply select yes, and in the drop down you would select your factoring company, and then that preset factoring rate that we discussed how to set up in your address book when you're adding your factoring, that's going to be there. That's why that address book, again, is the heart of TruckLogics. I know it may seem a little bit overwhelming when you're first beginning, but that address, getting that address book in your truck zone, as we previously discussed, getting that set up, once those are set up, you can just click one and done. So, but for today, we don't have a factoring. We're going to review and make sure that all of our pickup information is complete, the items that we delivered, and we're just going to review our hauling fees or our flat fee or your rate charges. They're all pretty much the same thing. Some clients will say my rate, some clients will say other, If you need to at this time and you didn't build it when you build the load, you can now add another line or another fuel surcharge or accessories or deductions. But if everything is complete, you're just going to click Generate Invoice. And it's going to save this to a draft state. Now you would need to finalize this invoice. This puts it in the final state so that when it goes over to your profit and loss, it's counted into the calculation. So because we've already received payment, we're going to click Receive Payment. This invoice is going to show up. We're going to say we're receiving the full payment, what date we're receiving it on. We'll just leave it as today, but if you received it at a previous date, or you can make those adjustments as well. Then you're going to select how you received a payment, either check, cash, electronic funds, or credit card. That is completely up to you. If you received a check, you can add a check number, 252. If you have any memos on the check, you can add those as well. This is all optional information. So we received the full $500. So we're going to save that. And now this banner turns to paid. So how does this relate to your driver settlements? So when you go to your driver settlements, the driver that was assigned to this dispatch, so we'll go back to our load summary, go to our dispatch, and you can view the driver that was assigned, Krista Smith, and she gets 40% of the hauling fee. So that invoice had that hauling fee on it. So this is how your invoices relate to your driver settlements. So now you need to pay Krista. So you'll go to Accounts, Driver Settlements, Driver Payments, and you'll pay Krista. But first, you have to also make a settlement for Krista. That relates to, that gives you the breakdown of the driver settlement. And again, that's pulling that hauling fee directly off of your load that you created and that invoice that you just were paid for. So again, you're going to review everything. Now here, if there's anything that you're wanting to charge the driver, you can add them here, or if you need to give them a reimbursement, you can do that here. Save it as a draft. And the driver on his app can review that, save and finalize, and he's ready to get paid, or she. So you're going to mark it for payment, and this will take you a shortcut to that drivers and pending payments. It'll take you directly to here. And now her payment is set up to get paid. So again, you're given the opportunity to add any additional fees, add a reimbursement, add any deductions. Let's say she wants insurance taken out, you can add that deduction. That is completely up to you. So you'll need to make sure that if you're paying them today, you can leave it as today's date, but if you need to backdate it, you're given that option as well. Let's say you got behind a couple of days on your bookkeeping and now you need to make it. You need to select a payment mode. How did you pay Krista? Was it by cash, check, credit, electronic funds, a debit from your checking account? We're going to say we wrote Krista a check, and we can put a notes for any fields that we need, any payment reference that we need. Those are not required. Again, anything within the system that is with the red asterisk, that is the required information. And then you're just going to click Save. Now Krista on her app is going to see, when she opens up that dispatch, she's going to see that she's been paid her 40% of that hauling fee. The drivers are not going to see the invoicing. They're not going to see the rate or the hauling fee. They're only going to see their percentage of pay. From here, you're given the opportunity to view, print, or email this to whomever they want. So let's say you made a mistake on the load charges and you've already paid everything. You've already received your payment. You've already paid your driver. So everything we just did to correct that initial hauling fees, we're going to have to undo. This is where it gets a little bit complicated and irritating for some clients, but just remember the order that you did it in, you're just going to backtrack. So now from Krista's, we've paid Krista, so we need to change that based off of the hauling fees that we're needing to update. So what we're going to do within the system, we're going to void this. It's going to say, well, do you want to void this payment? Yes. This reverts it back to a pending payment. So you'll go back to accounts, driver settlements, and you'll see Krista is needing to be paid. But we need to make some updates on other information first. So now we'll go back to our load so that we can get to our dispatch. Because the settlement that we made for Krista, we also have to void it. We'll void the settlement, go back to our summary, go back to our loads. And you'll find that there's a couple of routes that you can take within TruckLogics that'll get you back to the same area. That's okay. However you want to get back to invoicing, that's fine. So our invoice still shows as paid. So how do we fix that? You need to go to this payment history. You're going to go to the payment history and you're going to be seen with a receipt number. This blue number here, if you hover over it, it'll flash red or orange, and you can click onto that. And it'll take you to where you received this payment. And up here in the top, you'll see a void button. This void reverts this invoice back to a non-paid status. So now we're going to go back over to the invoice and you can see that it's just final. So you can click edit and make those adjustments that you need. We left off an accessorial lumper fee. So let's go and add that. It was $50. And then you'll see that addition to that $50. We'll go and make sure everything else is correct. We're going to click update. It saves it in a draft state again. Now you're going to finalize it, receive the payment again, and now you see the updated charges. So now we need to make sure that we're marking this for the correct date. We'll leave it on today's date. We still received the payment by check, and you can put the check in there, 2252. Well, see, they voided it, so now they sent us a new check for an additional $50. So 2255 is the new check number. This is entirely up to you. You can do the memo or not. You can make a memo that this payment was, you had to make edits. However you want to feel comfortable with making notes and clarifications through the process, that's for you. All right, so we've updated this payment. We're going to click save. We've now received our payment. Now we can go back to our dispatch portion and update our settlement for our driver. Here now you're going to give the percentage hauling fees, surcharges, or total income. We're going to leave it the same. But now we need to reimburse Krista for, she had a busted hose and she had to get a hose or something. So let's see. Or she ended up having to stay overnight for lodging. So she had to get a $100 hotel, not due to her, anything to do with hers, but we're going to reimburse her for that. So that will now show up on the total for hers. And then you're going to mark it for payment again. You're going to give another option to review. You're going to pick your payment mode. and make sure that your date is correct as well. And now Krista will be able to see that she's getting $300. So that is how your invoicing relates to your driver settlements, and your driver settlements, and how to correct those. I know I kind of went a little fast, but if you do it a few times and review this, you'll be able to do it easily. Just remember, if there's any corrections that you need, if you've marked anything as you've received a payment or paid, that you'll avoid, undo the steps that you just did, make your updates or corrections, and then follow the same procedures. Okay? So that is invoicing and driver settlements and how they relate. So now we'll have a brief Q&A. If you have any questions, just go ahead and enter them in your question comments. That way we can get, I'm sorry, away. I don't understand that question. If you could rephrase your question, it would be beneficial for me. Can you reuse invoice numbers, or will they need to be altered in some way? It depends on how you have your numbering set up. If you have your numbers set up as automatic, the system is going to keep that in line, and you will not be able to reuse invoice numbers. If you have your numbers manual set and you voided them and deleted everything completely from the system, yes, you can reuse the invoice number, but only if it's manual entry. Very good question. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in. But if you do have any questions along the way, hold on, somebody just said something, hold on. Let's say you have a load that was partially paid. Will I have to void the invoice, or can I post it partially paid? Absolutely, you can post a partial payment. Let me quickly review that. So if you go to your invoices, and let's see, do I have any open? We'll go to open. Let's just go back here really quick, and I'll just void one. So we'll just generate this invoice really quick and receive this payment. Test one, or just leave it for today so that I can answer your question really quickly. It's another $500, and we're going to generate this invoice. So you'll finalize it, and you're going to receive this payment. Uncheck receive in full. Type in the amount that you received. You received $250 on this invoice. And then you'll click save. Oh, see, the system tells you every time what to do. You just got to make your pay dates and your mode, and then it will allow you to update that. So then when you go back, it'll say partial paid, okay? So that's how you would do it. Is there any more questions? And then when you receive the other partial payment, you would go back in on that same invoice, receive payment, and receive the additional, and then it will change it to paid. No, so the driver will receive his or her portion of the $250 on their settlement. No, that is strictly for your invoicing. If you received a partial payment, meaning the money's coming in, that doesn't necessarily reflect on your driver's settlement. That is what you're paying him, and that will be of the total $500. If you're wanting to wait and pay your driver when you've received the full $500, that would be between you and your driver. once you receive that full 500 and then they get that percentage or that manual payment, then you would be able to pay them based off that full $500. The partial payment is solely for invoicing. All right. Great question, Tiffany. Great question. Okay, it looks like that's everything for today. So as we've been telling, every month we're going to do a new series. This month is on financial management. So I kicked it off, and next week will be a boosting your bottom line, discounting, finalizing, and factoring your invoices. We'll go into deeper invoicing and how that affects your bottom line. That'll be September 14th at 4 p.m. again. Here is our upcoming September webinars. We have another one on shortcuts and secrets, managing invoices and settlement generations on September 24th, and navigating TruckLogics, locating invoices and driver settlements within your account on September 28th. All right, so if you haven't done so and you're just brand new and you're figuring out, trying to decide whether TruckLogics is a fit for you, go ahead, head on over to TruckLogics.com, sign up for our free 15-day trial. We're going to reach out to you the next day after your sign up. We're going to give you some homework. We're going to tell you, take a look around, give us some questions that you may have. We're going to ask you what your pain points are. What brought you to TruckLogics? What are you looking for? What is your solution that you're looking for your business? And we're going to call you back. We're going to set you up with a free 15-minute demo. We're going to share our screen with you, and we're going to log into our demo account. We're going to show you how your account will work based on that pain point that you are giving us. Then we're going to reach out to you some more. We're going to ask you how things are going. Did you have any questions? We're going to touch base yet again and see how you are doing more toward the end of your free 15-day trial. We'll send you tons of material. We have how-to webinars or blogs. We have our YouTube channel. This webinar is going to be available on our YouTube channel starting tomorrow. If you have any questions, get in touch with us. Our support office is here in Rock Hill, South Carolina at 704-234-6946. We have a great support team. It's William and myself, and we have a brand new addition, Tommy. He's doing really well. He's passionate about helping you as well. And our sales team, Mark and James and Summer, they're going to be reaching out to you new signups. So they're going to be telling you, hey, let me show you this, let me show you that. What's your pain point? What you're needing to resolve so that they can help you learn TruckLogics. And again, if you don't have time for you, who does? Okay. So follow us on all of our social medias, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Well, Twitter's not Twitter anymore. It's X, I think. But TikTok and our YouTube channel. All right, guys, that's it for today. I hope you have learned a lot. And if you have any specific questions, again, don't hesitate. Give us a call. Send us an email to TruckLogics, support@trucklogics.com. We're going to reach out to you, okay? Everybody, have a great day. Thanks.